Welcome to the Movie Draft Podcast. I am Ethan Simi, and today I am joined by three wonderful guests. First up is Des.
Hi.
Next up is Hal.
Hello.
And finally, Kevin Mikos.
Hello, everybody.
And today, we are drafting the films of Philip Seymour Hoffman in a collaborative draft. The last time all of us got together on a pod was for episode 96, 20 episodes ago, 10 episodes ago.
Whoa.
20, I don't know. A lot of episodes ago. And it was for the 1996 movie draft. I feel like that was pretty fun. I think Hal won that draft.
Oh, yes.
Okay. You
Probably.
would remember that, of course. So yes.
It's my first win.
First win. First and only win?
Correct.
Oh.
Okay, well,
That's
joke's
mean.
on you today because we're all losers participating in the collaborative draft. Nobody will walk away a winner. But you were the winner of the 1996 movie draft. How are you feeling after that? How are you feeling getting ready to do a collab draft today?
Feeling great. High off that win still.
Okay.
Excited for my first collab draft, especially this one about one of the best actors of all time.
Yeah, I think this will be a good, important collaborative draft. Important because today, the day that we are recording, is in fact, to the day, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Des, because you would know this information, 12 years since Philip Seymour Hoffman has passed away. He did pass away in 2014. And Des, I just want you to know that that has happened. Are you aware that he is no longer with us?
Thank you so much for bringing this to everyone's attention, Ethan.
Sure.
Mainly
It's
because
important information.
I brought it to your attention, actually. So it's really crazy how, the tables have turned. And I'm the one who knew something before, especially someone's passing.
Yeah,
you did.
For those uninitiated or unfamiliar, Des, quite infamously, just doesn't know who's alive and who's dead.
Mhm.
Which I respect. It's cool. But this is important because arguably, like Hal said, one of the greatest to ever do it. Not making movies anymore, unfortunately. This is your first collab draft, though, correct?
No.
Really?
No,
Tell
it's
me
not.
more, Des. Tell me more.
We did the top 10 horror movies of the 21st century together
We
with
did?
Ben.
Really?
We did.
That's
Yeah.
news to me. What was that
Is
board
it?
looking like? What was that looking like? Was it a pretty good board?
I got shitted all over on the internet because I put Notepad too, and people were not happy about that. But I stand by it. So
Yeah, you just can't, you can't win them all, especially when Nope is involved. People take
no, I
great
know that.
great personal offense.
They do, and I don't understand it because it is. I put it there. It is one of the greatest horror movies of the 21st century.
Yeah. Top 25 horror. Yeah. Nope
Yeah.
at number 2. Do you remember what number 1 was?
Midsommar.
Yeah, got that right. You want to know what number 3 was? Our
Did Get Out?
potential. It is our potential best picture
Yeah.
winner here in about 2 months. Sinners. Number 3 on
You
that
know what?
board.
Yeah.
Which was pretty
I
sick,
agree.
pretty goated. I stand by that list. That was a good time. So this
Yeah,
is
that was
not your
fun.
first collab. This is going to
Nope.
be your second collab.
Yep.
Hopefully we can all collaborate, as is the general consensus of these drafts. Now another member, obviously not your first collab here either, Kevin. You took part in arguably one of the most infamous collaborative drafts to have hit this podcast, and that is the top 25 movies of the 21st century, part 1, in which you, myself, and the others involved were scolded for being unserious. That I still hang on to that. I just want you to know that's happening.
And I just want you to know this is the first that I'm hearing of that because I felt as if it was a very serious draft. I didn't know that people felt that way about our picks, and hopefully not my picks, of course. But
Well, it's not, I wouldn't say it's necessarily people at large. There is a core member of this draft whose name is Sophie Holsinger. And she did appear on part 2 of that and said, it's time to bring in the big dogs, if I remember
That's right.
correctly, quote unquote.
And Sophie and I didn't talk about this since that draft, actually. I don't think it's been brought up in conversation, but I should probably say something to her.
You should definitely bring it back up because just frankly unacceptable on all fronts. We are deeply serious here today on the Philip Seymour Hoffman draft because he was a pretty serious actor except when not. So we'll see. We'll see how we go and what we determine. I have a lot of questions about what our activity is here today and where we want to go. Before I do that, Hal, I'll start with you. Philip Seymour Hoffman, one of the greatest to ever do it. Do you remember the first movie that you saw with him in it?
I think the first movie I saw with Philip Seymour Hoffman was probably like Twister. But I was at an age where like I wasn't like, oh, that's Philip Seymour Hoffman. He was just some guy. So it was probably not until the 2000s when I was watching through Paul Thomas Anderson's work where I was like, oh, this is Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's in this. I want to watch this. So that's my experience with him.
Yeah. You know, I kind of have a similar experience, I feel like. I think the first time that I saw him was probably in Boogie Nights. But it wasn't like, oh, yeah, I know who that is. It was more so like in retrospect being like, oh, shit, that was Philip Seymour Hoffman. That's pretty incredible. Des, what about you? Have you seen a movie starring Philip Seymour Hoffman first? I think it's important we get that out of the way.
Ethan, if I could come through this screen right now and just get you, I probably would.
I'm asking the important questions. You know, people need to know that we're a qualified, astute group of film watchers, film lovers.
Yes, I do know him. I feel like he's my close personal friend. First time I've seen him, definitely Twister. That movie changed my life. It continues to change my life. I continue to love it just as much as I did the first time I've seen it. And I think even then in that movie, without knowing he's Philip Seymour Hoffman, I knew that he was a character to be reckoned with. You know, you could tell that even though he was silly, goofy guy, he's actor. He's about his film. So, I mean, even from a young age, I knew what he was about.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty impossible not to know what he's about the first time that you see him. He really does. Yeah. He's kind of an aura guy for sure. Kevin, what about you? Do you remember your first Philip Seymour Hoffman encounter?
Yeah, I don't know if I could recall it exactly, but I saw this in the show notes and I was trying to rack my brain thinking about it because I'm just a young little guy, so I was trying to date myself and I realized that as a 26-year-old, I was looking at his filmography and I was like, not really in that many movies that I would have watched as a kid. You know what I mean? And so The Hunger Games came out in 2013 when I was 13. And so it could have been that, but I also think it could have been perhaps Boogie Nights. I watched it at probably too young of an age. And I was definitely watching Mission Impossible movies as a kid. So that's also a possibility, but I don't have a memory of seeing it for the first time. I think it was really like in high school and I was just like, oh, Philip Seymour Hoffman, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because we'll obviously talk about kind of his filmography as we go through this. And you're right. He was in The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 1 and Part 2 in 2014 and 2015, the last films to be released of his. And I do remember at that age, like I was right at, like in high school, right out of high school. And I remember people being like, he passed away. This is a big deal. And I didn't really get it because like I wasn't locked in A, to Hunger Games, the books, the movies, whatever, B, Philip Seymour Hoffman as an actor. But I do remember it being like pretty groundbreaking and people being deeply, deeply moved and affected and impacted. So his, lasting presence obviously is very, very big. He was nominated for 4 Academy Awards. He won 1 of them. I think we'll be talking about this today and discussing this. And it does kind of lead me really to my strategical question for all of us here. Something I think that we should talk about before we participate in this collaborative draft. Because collaborative drafts are unique in the fact that they are not a Hall of Fame. They are not a Mount Rushmore. They are, in fact, still a draft. So there are abilities and there are grudges and gripes and friendships to, all on the line here. So how do we want to approach this? Do we want to approach this with a Hall of Fame mentality? Because I don't generally ask this for a collaborative draft, but I feel like Philip Seymour Hoffman kind of warrants this conversation. Like, is it important we include his Oscar win? Is it important we include only 1 cameo? How many small roles can we have? Does the movie have to be really, really good? Is it just his performance that has to be really, really good? Like, where do we stand on all of that? How do you have an opinion on which direction we should go today?
Yeah, if there's like a spectrum between maybe on one end it's his best performances, on the other end of the spectrum it's like his best movies, regardless of his performance's quality. I like to stay more toward the quality of his performance,
Mhm.
and a kind of a way to look at it for me is like if we're drafting 13 Philip Seymour Hoffman movies, if I had to pick
Mhm.
13 movies to show someone who's never seen a Philip Seymour Hoffman movie to be like, hey, these 13
Mhm.
movies represent how good he was and how important he was to movies. I hope that our list comes close to that.
Okay. That feels a little Hall of Famey, but I like it. I like it. Not derogatory, in a good way, because we are doing 13 movies here. And I do think ultimately that is kind of one of the goals of a collaborative draft, is to kind of use it as a capsule and say, like, this is what this person represents. Kevin, do you agree? Is that kind of what we're thinking here for the direction?
Yeah, I'd lean in that direction. I think when I'm thinking about Philip Seymour Hoffman specifically, and this may be the case with a lot of good actors, but definitely him. Like you mentioned, quality of movies. I don't know if that totally matters. I think
Hmm.
he's such a good performer that he could give like what feels like an Oscar-winning performance in a very bad movie.
Right.
And so I don't know if the quality of the movies matters. I feel like it would make more sense to rank performances. I still think quality of movies is going to factor into how much we value those performances and like how we view them ourselves. But I'm mostly with that mentality, and I'm here in the spirit of collaboration. So I'm willing
Okay.
to hear what Des has to say.
I was just going to say, we're shaping up to be rather collaborative so far. I don't know,
Mm,
though. Des, it really hangs in your balance here.
I have a question.
Oh, of course. Yes. Let's
So,
hear the question.
so when we're talking about his performance and it being one of like his best performances, are we talking about, like the impact of it?
Mm.
Like critics are raving, and it's one of those ones that you would put in a montage for Philip Seymour Hoffman, or can it be the silly performances? I feel like drama movies are always the ones that are taken into consideration when it comes to impact and being serious, and those are like the acting chops that everyone wants to show off, but he was quite multifaceted, that I think
Hmm.
his sillier performances maybe aren't always held up to the same regard, but I think that they're still just as important.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't really hear the
Oh,
question. I just heard the opinion,
It's more of a
of
comment.
which I agree.
right, right. Okay. Well, there's
No,
that
no.
then.
Well, the
I
question
think
is
this is
maybe
great.
what are we thinking about
Right.
that? Where it's like if I'm hearing you, Des, it's like it would be a boring list if we all went in with a mentality of like, let's just take Capote for example, his Oscar win.
Yeah, this
Like
is where I
like
wanted to go. This is
like
important.
Capote is a great performance, but like he was so much more than just what that role showed. Like
Right.
he can be a leading man in a drama movie, but he also can be, like you said, Des, super silly, super funny, and just like
Mhm.
a sad, pathetic bastard. And
100%.
I hope this list reflects that range because if he has anything on anyone in the history of film acting, it's
Yeah.
range.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
Mhm.
hope this list reflects that.
And you know what, Hal? I love that you said that, and I want you to keep that in mind when some movies are drafted later, because
I
I feel
okay.
like the things that you're saying right now
Can
just
I
really don't match your
Can I
character.
peel this back just for a moment? Because I think it's
Yeah.
important to have some context here. So we've had a group chat ongoing for at least a week now that has been quite active, of which I will just say I have unfortunately had to be the bearer of bad news and tell y'all, look, we have a podcast to run here. Save your opinions
Mhm.
for the pod. So I've done my due diligence and tried to encapsulate the passion and the opinions of that chat and bring it here to this pod. With that in mind, Des, you've been spewing a lot of like, this is the movie we should talk about kind of business.
What?
That's a little shady to me, and honestly, it sets me on a path of individualism, and I don't really want to collaborate. So
Whoa.
about
No.
7 minutes ago, when we were discussing this, I was like, collaboration sounds great. We could get the perfect list. This might be like the first perfect collaborative draft. But
Okay.
now I don't know. Now I'm a little worried.
Well, okay, that's not how I approached it at all. What I did was I took a page out of your book, and I
My book.
perused, your book,
Okay.
your book of Snooper the book, and
Sure.
I
Yes.
looked on everyone's
The Ethan
letterbox.
Simi story, right? Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
I looked on everyone's letterbox to see what movies of Philip Seymour Hoffman that everyone has seen.
Oh.
And a movie that I watched recently in preparation, loved Down Boots. And none of you have seen it. And I'm just like, can't have that.
Kevin has. I know
Oh,
Kevin has.
I've seen the movie.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Period.
Okay,
Period.
I want to save this movie for the conversation. I want to save
Right.
it. Cuz I want to
Yeah,
know.
trot it out. We'll see
This is what
happens.
is interesting
No,
to me is what are we going to consider? What are we going to play here? Talking about range. I think it's a very important point to make for this collaborative draft. So with that in mind, maybe kind of the idea of like, it's not the best, it's not the most important, but it is kind of the most encapsulating of what he represents for movies, for film, for acting, those kinds of things. Did anybody do any rewatches in prep for this draft?
Sure
We're all
did.
nodding. We're all nodding our head.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Okay, Hal's got no, because I know you've been watching Bond movies, Hal.
My whole life has been a preparation for the Philip Seymour Hoffman draft.
I don't think Hal's ever come to a draft unprepared.
You can't
is the
argue with
thing.
that. Yeah, you can't argue with that. Hal, that's why I love having you on. It's just because I don't have to worry as a host. You come ready, come prepared.
I try.
Des, on the other hand, you've seen a Philip Seymour Hoffman movie or two.
I have. I've seen a good amount.
I do want to give you credit because you texted me. We have planned this. We're recording this draft mere days after the Sundance Film Festival has ended, of which you were at. And you did commit. You were like, I'm there and I'm gonna watch some PSH movies in preparation. So that warms my heart. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, because we're friends, and I want to make sure that I show my friendship to you, and I do good things for you, just like I would hope you would reciprocate.
Yeah, yet to be seen. We'll really see. Whenever I make it on your pod, then you'll really know that it's reciprocated.
Oh God! Don't hold your breath.
Kevin, you said you did watch some stuff for this draft?
Yeah, I did a lot of first watches because I felt that I wanted to expand my Philip Seymour Hoffman viewing. There's a number of movies that I could have rewatched that I think will be fairly high on this list if I was predicting, but for that reason it felt less fun to revisit them. So I watched a bunch of movies for it was a good excuse to watch movies that I've been meaning to watch for a while. So
yeah. I think that's a good way to put it. That's kind of how I approached this draft as well. There were a handful of first-time watches that I was able to knock out for this. Unfortunately, there was one in particular, and I know this is the same with you, Kevin. There was like the one movie that I wanted to watch before this draft that I just didn't get to, unfortunately. And so we'll see if that's something that we talk about here or not. I'm really, really curious if that's the case. But I did do some prep, and I feel like, boots on the ground. I'm as prepared as I guess I could be given the time constraints. Even though I wish I had watched a couple more rewatches. There was one in particular that I wanted to rewatch that I didn't have time. Which again, I'm curious if it's going to get brought up. Any other strategy things we need to get out in the open before we start talking about the collaborative draft?
I would also say, in the spirit of collaboration, I was thinking about this. I feel like we should back end some of the wild cards. In my head, I'm like, I feel like we could. I was looking at my ranking, and there's like my top 10 is like 10 movies that I'm pretty sure we're all gonna be in agreement are like on the list. So I feel like those first couple spots, like we should just get a little bit crazy, like that would be
the first couple spots
from like 13 to 11. Like, I feel like if there's like a movie where like, oh, I don't know, like I'm willing to not veto something if it's like a fun pick. You know what I mean? Like at the back end of the list is what I would
someone's
say.
going to be left out of that
fair.
selection. That's only 3 spots.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
It's true. I do. That was
maybe someone will pick one that people are in agreement on, that more than one person wants as a wild card.
that was kind of one of my biggest questions, and I was going to kind of like save it for as we progress through this collaborative draft is like, do we want to use like the 13, 12, 11 to get like to be a little cute and to be like, well, yeah, he's really good for 7 minutes, or do we save that for like a 4 spot and then just like really swerve? You know what I mean? Like
we could also just see what happens.
We could go either way.
Just see what happens. Personally, I want to see Patch Adams in the top 5.
Oh,
so.
Okay, this is not a game, Hal. This is serious business. Speaking of Patch Adams, it is. I will say quickly before we start the collaborative draft, it is one of, I kid you not, one of my wife's favorite movies. She made me rewatch the monologue that Philip Seymour Hoffman gives to Robin Williams in The Office, in which he says, "This is not a game to me. I don't come here to play games. This is serious. I'm a doctor." He's even pretty good in that. So we gotta, what I mean?
It's great seeing Philip Seymour Hoffman and Robin Williams go toe to toe.
Yeah.
Even though that's kind of a goofy movie.
It is.
They're both great.
Yeah.
They both passed away the same year. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Yeah, like mere months apart. I love that Molly loves that movie. Shout out Molly.
It's a very Molly coded movie. She is very near and dear to Robin Williams. She's like she's like on Mrs. Doubtfire all the time. She's like, this is
real.
Cool. Which, true. Okay. Let's kick this off and let's see what happens here. So it is a collaborative draft. Whether we're gonna collaborate for a little bit, for the whole time, who the fuck knows? Because anything's possible. It is going to be one single board standing at the end of this ranking, the 13 best, most important, coolest, most range-filled movies of Philip Seymour Hoffman. Now, with that being said, he just has to be credited in the movie, which I think obviously is something important to keep in mind here. It does have some big roles in which they are minimal screen time. So I'm curious how we're going to kind of tackle this. But as always, with collaborative drafts, a special shout out to Screen Drafts, a wonderful podcast that has in fact influenced this draft layout. Let me explain the picks and the abilities. Ben is not here. He does it very well. I will try my best to explain how a collaborative draft works. So there's 4 of us. We're going to be picking 13 movies. We're going to spin the wheel like we do normally to discover, to find out which position we're going to be picking. If your name gets picked first on the spinner, you get to choose what drafter you get to be. We're going to run all the way through the spinner, so you have a little bit of time to think, to vamp, figure out what you're going to decide. Drafter A is going to get picks 1, 5, and 9. They're going to have 2 vetoes. They're going to be the only drafter with 2 vetoes. Now, important, I always like to make note, in a collaborative draft in which there are more than 13 movies available, having the number 1 pick is literally having the number 1 pick. You get to determine what goes at number 1 on the board. Drafter B is going to get 2, 6, and 10. They're going to get 1 single veto. Drafter C is going to get 3, 7, and 11. They're going to get 1 veto, and they're going to get the sole veto override. Veto override hasn't been used for a little bit, I believe, and pretty infamously difficult to use in a draft. I'll explain the veto override in just a second. Drafter D is going to get picks 4, 8, 12, and 13. They get the most amount of picks. They are at the bottom of the board primarily, and they only get 1 veto. Now, the veto override cannot be used on your own selection. It can only be used on somebody else's. So if someone were to put the master at number 9, say, Hal, you put the master at number 9, I veto that because I either want it off the board or I want it higher on the board, and I'm going to roll the dice on that. Kevin's not happy with that. He has the veto override. He can use the veto override to keep the master at 9. Does that make sense to everybody logistically?
Yep.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sounds good. So that is what we're going to be doing here. And we're going to walk away with a board of Philip Seymour Hoffman movies. This is super exciting. Really, really fun. You guys ready to draft, to do
Let's do it.
the Philip Seymour Hoffman collaborative draft?
Let's get collaborative.
Okay, let's get collaborative. I've got the wheel of names. It is strictly a wheel of names, Des. I promise. This is not misogynistic in any way, and is not discriminative towards anybody. We'll just see what happens and see if that rings true or not. All right, let's spin the wheel here. Does anybody know what drafter position you're hoping to get? Is there anybody like eyeing a particular one?
I'm kind of game for anything.
Game for anything? Okay. Well, Hal's going to get to choose first. So keep that in mind, Hal. Okay. Wow, this is really fascinating. Well, this is not ideal. I don't know, could be. I don't know. The chips could fall. I could still end up with what I want. Who's to say?
The board.
Oh.
This is literally the worst position. Okay. That's okay. So, unfortunately, Kevin, you're going to get the scraps. You will not get to choose what position you're going to get. Hal, you get to choose. Are you going to be drafter A, B, C, or D?
Historically, what do most people gravitate toward here? I really don't. I'm torn.
It's tough.
I think it kind of depends on like what role you want to play.
Yeah.
You know?
I will say go ahead, Kevin. I'm curious how
I was
you
gonna
approach
say
this.
I think the most valuable ones are A and D, depending on like what you either get to like veto more than everybody else, or you just are the person who gets to pick one extra movie, which like if you're just somebody who wants to mention as many movies as possible, then maybe drafter D is the best. But if you want to like have control over the board, then I feel like A is the best. I don't know.
Yeah, so we did the Sundance Collaborative draft a couple of weeks ago, and I purposefully chose drafter D because my intention and my vibe and my strategy was I want the 12 and 13 so I can just toss shit out that I think is cool. That is 99% not going to get vetoed, which I think is really fun. But if that's not your thing, you know, because if you're drafter D, you're only going to 4. You don't even get to determine the top 3 movies.
Yeah.
No say.
Yeah, if you care about the top of the list, then A or B, I guess, makes more sense. But
you know what?
I mean,
I'm gonna throw a wrench in the plans. I'm gonna go with C.
Ooh, okay.
I kind of want my fingers in the top, middle, and bottom.
I was kind of wanting C for
that.
myself. I thought the veto override might be fun, but too late for that now.
Yeah, veto override could be big in a draft like this for sure. Okay, so Hal, you're going to be drafter C. You're going to get 3, 7, and 11. Fundamentally, you get 1 at the top, 1 in the middle, and 1 at the bottom. That's pretty good. Pretty good strategy. Okay, Des, you get to pick next. You're going to be A, B, or D.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
It's almost like how we're wrenching my plans.
Wait, so everybody was like, C sounds good?
Yeah, I really thought that he was going to go A, to be honest with you. Damn, this is crazy.
I did think you were going to go A, Hal. I thought you wanted the number 1 pick, man.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't know what my favorite Philip Seymour Hoffman performance / movie is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would make the 1 a little hard, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I think my approach is going to be, what do I want you guys to have?
What scraps do you want to leave us with?
Do I want you guys to feel like you're succeeding?
I thought we were friends. Don't you want to see friends succeed? Isn't that what friendship is?
Not here.
Not at this pod.
Not here. Not at this pod.
That checks out.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go. Shit.
Man, the anticipation in choosing these is at an all-time high. I don't think it's ever been this difficult.
This might be harder than actually picking the movies.
Yeah.
On the board.
Yeah.
Go with your gut.
Yeah. I know that I don't want A. I don't want A. I either want B.
So you don't want A.
I don't want that one. I think I'll take.
You should
take D.
Damn it.
I like D for you.
I really wanted D.
D for Des.
Okay, Des, you're going to get 4, 8, and 12. You're going to have the single veto. So something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
You are going to get the most amount of picks, though.
And just for clarification, if you make a pick, someone vetoes it, you get to then pick another film.
That's correct. So you'll have to pick another film. You cannot pick the one that was just played. With that, something of note that was employed pretty heavily or threatened to be employed pretty heavily on the Sundance Collaborative draft was just because you veto it doesn't mean it won't get played next. Right? So I don't want to threaten anything. And especially with a board consisting of a filmography like that, it's not really a threat in this circumstance. But that just could happen. It's a way to maybe coax out a veto of somebody. Okay, so I can be A or B. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go drafter A. I want 2 vetoes. That looks pretty yummy.
Ew, I don't like that.
You don't like that for me, in particular?
I don't like you saying it's yummy.
I actually just cut the audio. I didn't get the saying it's yummy part. You just heard I don't like you. So I'm gonna stick with that. That's too bad.
That's also fine. I'll repeat it if it's not clear
also
enough
checks
for you.
out. Okay, cool. Okay. Kevin, you're gonna get 2, 6, and 10. You're gonna get a single veto. I'm sorry. That's arguably like the worst position.
I actually don't really mind. I think the last time we did the collaborative draft, I had D, which is exactly what I wanted. So I'm fine with getting the short end of the stick this time around.
Okay. Yeah, mix it up, right? Through a different lens. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's commence the Philip Seymour Hoffman collaborative draft here on the Movie Draft Podcast. Des, you are going to do that by picking 2 movies in a row. Why don't you start us off and pick number 13?
Yeah, lucky number 13. There's so many choices that I could go with. It's just like, how do you rank his movies?
Can I ask you a specific question before you throw out 13?
Yeah.
Do you have a personal set of 13 that you're trying to like ascribe by, where you're gonna work your way up that personal Des board?
See,
okay.
Yes, but also it'll shift based on where we're landing with everything else.
Okay.
And I'm gonna vibe check everyone just to make sure we're all
that is
cool.
my exact strategy as well. So
vibe check every single pick. Good call. I think it's smart.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think for number 13, I'm gonna put The Master.
No.
Okay. So this has been a great podcast, and nobody's ever coming back on this show. Can I clarify? Like, you're being real. This is your real pick.
Yeah.
You're fucking high, Des. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm not high right now.
Okay, give me this. Give me the Des take on The Master. Why is it at 13? I need to know if you're fucking with us or if you're being honest.
Yeah, I want one of you to use your vetoes right now.
Okay, that's, mind you, not mere 10 minutes ago. We all said we feel collaborative. Let's work together. We could have a perfect board.
Yeah.
Okay. Ethan, so I feel like we're entering a new era here with
Ethan,
the collaborative
will you burn
draft.
one of your vetoes since you have 2?
Okay, but what if
the king, aren't you?
The movie. Okay. What if the movie that you just watched that you love so much?
Mm-hmm. This is great, Kevin.
Because you were because you were nervous that people wouldn't allow it on the list. Perhaps at least one person in our group chat said that they wouldn't allow it on the list. What if instead of playing The Master here, you play that movie and all of us agree to not use our veto on it?
I'd agree to that.
Concessions have been made. Ball's in your court.
I think that's a fair compromise. But if you don't like that idea, I'll even use my veto. I don't care because The Master is way too high on my list. But I think that would be fair, and then you get the movie that you really want on the list, and nobody gets hurt.
Nobody gets hurt.
That's a really funny way to phrase that.
Also, like the movie that I'm referring to, I want on the list as well. Like it is in my personal top 13.
Right.
So I'm on your side. I just think The Master at 13 is crazy. So
no, I think I'm going to save that movie for later. So I'm going to keep The Master for number 13.
Okay. So important note of conduct, of logistics here. Since we are entering veto territory, it's important that we get this out of the way. I always save it for when the instance arises. It's easiest to describe. So the way that the spinner landed, so Hal, Des, Kevin, myself, that is going to be the right of first refusal for vetoes. So whoever plays will obviously not be included in that, but Hal, you will get the first right of refusal for the veto. Then it would fall to me, and then it would fall to Kevin. So we kind of have to run. We have to run the gauntlet here. So the Master has been played at 13. That's happened.
I'm gonna not use my veto.
You're gonna bump, you little bitch. I knew it. I knew you were going to save it.
I only have one.
Yeah.
You chose that life. You chose one. Okay.
You did.
So then it's me. Kevin, you said you're going to use it.
I did not choose where I am in the draft. So I'm going to let you use your veto instead of using my lone veto, because as much as I disagree with this pick, I feel like some other ridiculous pick is going to be made somewhere on the board, and I want to have that in my back pocket. So.
Okay, fair. I think we have to quorum. Des, sorry, you're just not included in this. This is an absolutely psychotic play. I give you full props for content sake. This is really great. You're
just
really doing
me
a
water.
service. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blood in the water. He obviously his character he plays Lancaster Dodd, arguably some of his most interior work that he's ever done, most complex, complicated, in what a lot of people argue is like PTA's most quote unquote like inaccessible or most difficult to kind of like compromise with movie, especially in a character like Philip Seymour Hoffman plays. The very real reality, Hal, Kevin, that we need to think about here. If I veto this, Des has 12. We need to game this for a second.
Okay.
Because if I veto, she plays the master at 12. Are either of you not going to play your veto?
Here's my thing. I don't believe that Des thinks that this is the 13th best Philip Seymour Hoffman movie. I think this is just to get a veto out. And honestly, I feel like if we just veto it here, and especially if Ethan, you waste your veto, because I think that's really what Des wants to happen.
Waste my veto? This is veto for veto's sake. This is important work.
It is important work. I'm saying I think that Des's strategy is that you shouldn't have two vetoes.
I know.
And so I think what we do here is
this.
you bite the bullet, use a veto, and then the master will end up at the top of the list. You know?
Okay.
And if Des plays it at number 12, then I'll fucking use my veto.
Can I say something? If you veto this now, I promise I won't do it for number 12.
All right. Burn that veto, Ethan.
Baby, let's go to the veto stake. That veto has been burned. I'm not letting the master be at 13. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. We'll save the master conversation and his performance for when we do get there.
Totally fair.
Congratulations. Good job. Good play.
Thank you so much.
Very smart.
Number 13 is Boogie Nights.
Oof. That also stings, but I'll allow it.
Yeah.
I'm going to veto. I think that deserves to be much higher.
Okay.
Sorry.
Literally,
I agree. Like his best performances.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
Okay.
But I didn't want to.
I'm physically obstructed. If you're watching the video, I haven't opened my eyes since Des uttered Boogie Nights.
No, but can we just do like a sidebar here, Des? I just want to get. Do you have like a PTA thing or like what's going on here?
No.
Like
no,
this is
I think you came with a hit list. I think this is a new collaborative strategy. I don't know
if
people
you just looked up everybody's ratings.
Yes.
And intended on playing them.
The only movie I looked up was to see if you guys have seen that one movie that I talked about in the group chat. That was it.
Okay.
I love how we're being so clear to the listeners about this one movie we've been talking about for 37 minutes and haven't said the title.
Okay, also not even a successful job because I had seen the movie. So you looked it up and you didn't even realize that I had watched it.
Okay.
The thing is I just look for Ethan's orange hat. And I said that's how I keep it moving.
All right, I veto.
Yeah, Hal's gonna veto
name your third film now.
Right. Okay.
Don't make it a PTA movie, please.
Can I say
we'll save Boogie Nights conversation for later.
I was being serious about Boogie Nights, to be honest.
Okay. Can you speak on that? Can you speak on Boogie Nights for a second? Like why here in 13?
I don't think within that movie compared to the other ones that he has going on, I think his character and like what he's doing, I guess is iconic in like some form or fashion. I just don't think it holds weight to the other ones that are on the board.
Okay.
Understood.
I hear you. I would actually disagree, but I think again, we'll save this conversation.
Yeah.
So
I think that's fair, but I also think it's like maybe the most Philip Seymour Hoffman performance that Philip Seymour Hoffman's ever had.
Maybe all time. Yeah. So I have used a veto. I'm down to one single veto. Hal, you have used your veto on Boogie Nights at 13.
I'm scared to see what happens here.
no movies are on the board. This is the first time that this has ever happened.
It's time for Patch Adams to make his
This is great.
appearance.
We need a movie to bond us. We need to come together.
Oh, man, if I say the movie that I really want to replace, you guys are gonna hate me. I don't think
Go
it's
ahead,
a
play your
good
game.
movie.
Play your game, Des.
Yeah, play your game, Des.
We'll try to collaborate, and you can do whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah.
I have an idea that this might be a fundamental like stake in the ground. The rules of the collaborative draft change after this to allow for this never to happen again. Just do it,
man. Can I? I'm gonna do Hunger Games: Catching Fire.
I'll use my veto also. Well, actually, no. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. All right.
If
I use a veto here, are you gonna play it higher on the list? Because I don't think this movie should be anywhere near.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
That would go higher.
Leave it.
That's fine.
I actually have a really good, like, I feel like this is a good argument for this in the 13 spot. I have not seen this movie. I don't know his performance in this movie. I don't have any personal attachment. But with the idea of what Hal mentioned earlier, of this idea of range, this is, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, the only IP that he was associated with. I think it's important. Wrong. What IP?
Mission Impossible.
Oh, right. Mission Impossible, of course. Well, maybe I was trying to play a little coy. Nonetheless. Okay, well, that changes my argument. Because then we have an IP situation.
It's a good performance.
It's like a fine performance. This should 13. I'm fine with leaving it at 13. This is at the very bottom of my list. Just all the Hunger Games movies are like at the bottom of my list. I think this is just like not exciting work from him at all. I think he's just like, he just showed up.
Are we doing Catching Fire? Are we doing, okay, so you're doing Catching Fire. This is the one that comes out in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes on to make 2 other movies, and then he does Mockingjay Part 1 and Part 2. Okay. What's his character's name? Can you help me pronounce that?
Plutarch. Yeah.
Why are the names so weird in Hunger Games? What's up with that?
It's like a
watch the movies.
It's a fictional world.
Des, what's a nugget from this performance that speaks to you?
Oh my God, you're like my English teacher. I think with this movie, with him coming in being game master changer maker after Wes Bentley, he with his character, he needs to, really play into President Snow's, evilness and really, take the role of the game person and act as though he is the villain. For someone who is such a multifaceted actor, the way that he went about the performance, he got me. I thought we had to watch out for him. I thought he was after Katniss. So, and that's not a spoiler because his movies have been out forever and they're also books. So with his performance in that one, I thought he really did the character justice with introducing the character and how important he is, especially for the rest of the storyline and what he means for, like the revolution, and also the importance of his character and kind of how he like remains in Katniss's head, throughout like the rest of the movies as well.
Okay. So he plays like kind of a villain, is what he is in this movie?
Plays a little bit of both, is what.
A little bit of both. Okay, straddling the line.
Which is good. Cool. I mean,
I respect that.
He's like, he plays good guys and bad guys throughout his career. So it is fun to him do a little both in one movie.
Yeah.
What's next? What's the next movie you've got for us? Don't make us veto it.
The thing
I feel like we're all really stressed out right now. This is not the vibe I wanted at 12.
I don't like this movie. But I think people
Just
really do like it, and I don't want to have it higher. Synecdoche, New York.
Oh.
I will not allow this to stand.
Right.
Yeah, I think this should.
This is a 5-star movie for me. This is not going to be at fucking 12.
2 thumbs down for me.
Why don't you like that movie?
Sorry, man. Life sucks. You treat women bad.
Okay, so I will try to make an astute observation really fast the movies that you have played so far that we all men have vetoed are the ones in which Philip Seymour Hoffman kind of plays an absolute loser degenerate who just sucks and is really sad. That, I guess you just don't, that's not your thing, huh?
No, I think that's fine.
Well,
would either one of you vetoed this?
Yeah.
Well, we think it's great. What'd you say?
Well, Kevin, how would either one of you?
No, you're vetoing. You're the one that just said it's a 5-star movie.
I mean, I don't have any vetoes left. I would have it higher. I would live.
It's
live with it at 12.
I
don't want to say where it is on my list, but it's very high.
Okay, with that in mind, I think you raise a very good point. I would like to retract my veto, and we'll just keep it at 12. I think there's a couple strategy plays here. I personally wanted it very, very much higher. The fact that it's even on the board, I think, is pretty cool. And sometimes you just got to take a small victory. And I need to take a beat. I need to take a breath.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And onwards we push. You know.
Yeah. Be collaborative, Ethan.
Don't tell me to be collaborative. You just iced us out for like almost 3 picks. Okay. Anybody want to talk about Synecdoche, New York, and namely Philip Seymour Hoffman's character in this movie? Because we're putting this at 12.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the movie in what's now been like, I don't know, 6 years maybe, but I like it a lot. It's a weird, wacky movie, and Philip Seymour Hoffman is like the whole movie. I think it's interesting that I'd say, I don't know, just an estimate, like 70-80% of the movies that we're going to be drafting are movies where he's not the lead. So good to get some Philip Seymour Hoffman leading man representation on the list.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy that like he doesn't really lead the most, but he's an incredible like supporting actor. Like he really carries his weight.
Yeah.
I think it says a lot that he's regarded as one of the best actors in history, and he really only led X amount of movies.
It's a great catch. Obviously, Synecdoche, New York, 2008. Charlie Kaufman directed and written film. Basically, Philip Seymour Hoffman plays a theater director who is just kind of like sucks at life and is just like really down bad. And he attempts to create a life-size replica of New York in a warehouse as part of his like next play and his next adventure and his next like insightful look into life. And it ultimately results in what I would argue is like a pretty hollowing movie of like life just can fuck you over sometimes. And like there's not a lot you can do about it. And like it's just kind of sad. And sometimes you carve that path yourself, and that's hard to see as well. So I think there's a lot of merit in Synecdoche, New York. I love your shout, Kevin. I think this is his movie, and obviously he is like it does not work without him. So I'm glad to have it on the board. Is the attitude I'm taking here
at number 12.
Yeah, and also I'd say at the beginning, Des, you mentioned that we have to show some appreciation to his comedic work. And I feel like there's just always something funny about when he's playing like the pathetic losers that we're describing, you know, even if the movie plays it seriously, I think as viewer, at least from my perspective, like anytime I'm watching one of these movies, I'm like, there is some comedy inherent to that performance. So I'd add that as well.
I agree. I think he has like a little twinkle in his eye. That like kind of always has like a little bit of like a hint of like laughter behind it. I think that's pretty cool.
Not the only movie in which he stars alongside Catherine Keener. It's notable. I think it is the only Kaufman movie that he makes. Obviously, we've talked about a couple PTA movies, and he does have a couple of like his guys. But yeah, Kaufman. I think this is the solo adventure. Okay,
I think you're right. Not going to fact check you, but.
Please don't, because I'm probably wrong. Okay. Des, your time is over. It's time for the boys. Time for the boys to play a little Philip Seymour Hoffman draft. Hal, you've got 11.
So I think what I'm going to do is pick a Philip Seymour Hoffman role where that kind of represents like one sort of stream of his career where it's like, it's a smaller role. He's only like the third or fourth most important character in this movie, but he's explosive and he's gross and he leaves a big impression. and that is his role in Paul Thomas Anderson's Punch Drunk Love, where he plays sort of a mattress salesman, phone sex hotline guy who is just gross and aggressive and sort of threatening and menacing. And like I said, it's only maybe the third or fourth on the call sheet, but I think that's what he does so well, is that he kind of comes off the bench and hits a couple 3-pointers and calls it a day. And so, unless anyone vetoes this, I like Punch Drunk Love on this list, but not maybe in the top 10.
I think this is perfectly placed. I was actually going to ask the question. Well, I'm surprised we're talking about all these movies so early because of the first couple of picks. But I was going to pose the question of like, how many PTA movies are we going to put on the list?
This is where I was going to go as well.
I think 2 movies that were already mentioned, we both want high on the list. But I was like, oh, if we're going to put in a third movie, it should be this one. Mm-hmm. So in my head, if you didn't play this here, I was probably going to play it at number 10 next. So I think this is kind of like exactly where we want it.
Yeah. I have no qualms with this. I think this is a really elite pick in that specific tone, like you mentioned, how like he comes off the bench, completely clears what he needs to, and that's all that we need from him in that performance. Like he is solely there to enhance Adam Sandler's like movie-ending monologue, essentially, about how he has a love in this world that is greater than any strength he can ever imagine, and like be the butt of that. I would absolutely kill for the Dean Trumbull spinoff movie where we get to see how he is managing his phone sex business while also pretending to sell mattresses. There's some great behind the scenes footage of him doing some ads for his make-believe mattress company on in this movie. And of course, like, you get the iconic shut up, shut the fuck up. And I think that is probably like one of the top 5 things that people know him for, right? Like in terms of like single quotes. So it's good.
Great. I'm glad we're on board. Am I still echoing?
No, you sound great. You sound great. Yeah. Okay. So we're putting Punch Drunk Love on. We didn't really answer the question, Kevin. Are we going to end this with 3 PTA movies? Is that like where we're thinking we're going to go?
That's my hope. I guess there's a fourth one that you could mix in, I think, but I don't know if I personally would put it into the top 10. If somebody else does, I don't really think I'm going to have any objections to it.
I think there's 3 more PTA movies here.
Okay. And as long as nobody vetoes, I'd be fine with that. But on my list, I only have 3.
We're in this together, team.
Exactly.
We only have 10 more spots. Okay. Don't, Des, please. We only have 10 more spots, guys. We only have 10 more spots. If at least 2 of those are going to be occupied by PTA movies, there's a potential for a third to be his Oscar winner. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Kevin. Go ahead. You've got 10.
I'm torn here because there's like movies that I think are going to get played that I like don't really know if they need to be played. There's one in particular that I just kind of like would be happy leaving off the list, but I have a feeling that a certain someone is going to want it really high on the list.
A certain someone?
No, not.
Oh. Okay.
And so I'm tempted to put it here, even though I don't even want to be the one drafting it, just because I don't want it to end up at like number 5. But maybe we're all in agreement that this movie doesn't need to be on the list, and then one of you could just like veto it and we can move on. You know what I mean?
So you're doing a little martyrdom here and hoping
it's a lot
of
vague posting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm being vague.
Would be great.
I'm being vague because I'm only like 70% committed to naming that movie, and like the other 30% of my brain is being like, what if I just don't name the movie and nobody names it? You know what I mean? But I just don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, you could escape.
I think you should trust us to really, give our honest opinion and be collaborative and be understanding to the selections that you're making.
You can't change the status quo now that you've wreaked havoc on this Thunderdome.
I can do whatever I want, Ethan.
Are we allowed to table talk? Like, could Kevin be like, should I draft this? And we say yes or no or no? Is that a little bit defeating the purpose of...
If we're allowed to do that, I would like to just name the movie.
Listen, it's all circumstantial, episode by episode. If you feel like that is the collaborative space that we are fostering, I'm not opposed.
Okay.
Actually, I feel like it makes sense because
we're not under oath to tell the truth either. So anything could happen.
It comes down to like, we could have like the discussion, but he's still going to make the choice at the end of the day.
Yes.
Correct.
Also,
I'm
we've
pro
already
discussion.
talked about movies. We've already talked about movies that aren't placed yet that are going to get brought up. So we might as well.
Name the film.
These are the two movies I'm picking between right now, and it kind of matters to multiple people. I'm either thinking about Mary and Max, which I know Des wants higher on the list, but I just want on the list, and I don't want it to get vetoed higher. So I feel like putting it at number 10 would be cool.
Which is the movie that we have been referencing for almost 50 minutes now, 55 minutes.
Yes.
So I think this could be a good place to play that. The other movie I'm thinking about that I would be fine not having on the list, but that I think Ethan probably really wants high on the list is Mission Impossible 3.
You have thought correctly.
If it's gonna have to go on the list, I would like to just put it here and move on, because any higher feels to me kind of ridiculous. But I don't know if other people have opinions about that.
I think this is about where Mission Impossible 3 fall. Like I think it's cuspy for top 10.
Yeah.
So I like it here, but also I haven't seen Mary and Max, so I'm not going to veto it. I can't veto it anyways.
Yeah.
But I know that's just a vocal performance from Philip Seymour Hoffman, and so I would hate to see that ranked higher, even though I've not seen it.
Yes.
I'm in agreement with where you are.
Where does Ethan pick next? Ethan picks
next.
at 9. So if you do Mary and Max here, Ethan can go Mission Impossible 3 here.
Right, but does that mean we don't trust him to play it at number 5?
Nobody ever trusts me, Kevin. I'm used to it by now.
If he plays it at 5, then he's
I mean, listen,
he's ruining the integrity of his own podcast at that point. So
exactly.
This is part of what is so interesting about the abilities. If I ride the coattails well enough, I could find myself in a beautiful mountaintop called number 1, where nobody can do shit about what I do.
Yeah. And what do you think everybody listening to the
best.
pod is going to think when Mission Impossible 3 is number 1?
Unsubscribe.
You think viewership next week is going to be high?
Most amount of subs per week, guaranteed.
I think you do Mary and Max here. And
I like what you're
saying.
I like what you're saying, and I'm mostly in agreement, because I don't think that we need like a voice performance super high on the list, but I do think it is a pretty incredible voice performance. So,
okay.
I trust you and Des on that.
Des isn't saying anything, but as long as you're okay with it, I think that's very collaborative and a good idea to put Mary and Max at number 10, and then hope that Ethan drafts Mission Impossible 3 at number 9.
You're really putting me in a spot here. Mary and Max, can you give us the log line just so we kind of know the movie we're talking about? I haven't seen it either. I was recommended it by a good friend, and unfortunately I ran out of time. And then I do want to toss it to Des after that.
Yeah. I mean, Des, if you want to explain the movie, you like it even more than I do, so feel free.
No. Go ahead. It's your turn.
So
for now.
Mary and Max is a little Adam Elliott animated movie about a 9-year-old or 8-year-old girl who lives in Melbourne and becomes pen pals with like a 40-something-year-old man living in New York. And they kind of form a relationship via the mail. And it's a very sweet movie. Adam Elliott, incredible director, has not done a ton of work, but like really unbelievable animation on display. I think everybody listening to the pod would like this movie. It's a real, like, you kind of can't dislike it type of movie. I don't know.
I have seen 2024's Memoir of a Snail, which he directed as well, which I think is quite good.
Which is also incredible.
And very, very affecting for sure. Des, the floor is yours. You have a single veto, and I know you feel pretty passionate about this movie.
Hal, you still got that veto override, right?
I do have a veto override, correct?
That's all power. Are you nervous? Are you worried that if you play the veto, you might get overridden? Is that what you ask?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think that at all. I'm just trying to
be insightful, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm playing chess.
I know you are. You're playing fucking 4D chess. I'm like I said a couple weeks ago, I'm barely playing checkers on this show. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you're playing
Just
Uno.
show up. I'm playing Uno. Yeah, I'm playing a different game.
You're playing a whole different game, playing solitaire. I love the movie. I think it is definitely one of, the best animated movies. What I turned on the movie, I was like, oh, this has to be the team that did Memoir of a Snail.
Mhm.
And I've never seen that movie, but it's, highly regarded. And I think this movie really hits all the points. And I know that we said that voice acting shouldn't be considered too much compared to, like his acting chops where, he can be physical and he can show his face and all of like those different things. But I think voice acting is not getting the appreciation that it deserves because you have to put a lot of emotion into your voice to, properly convey what you're feeling without being able to show your face.
Hmm.
You like Mission Impossible 3?
Well, I was just going to say, I think that's a great shout for an actor who does wear so much emotion in his face, and particularly like his eyes and his mouth. Like he is able to convey that very, very well with that. So I could respect this pick here at 10, but I don't think we need to talk about Mission Impossible 3. They're just unrelated topics right now. Just stay focused on what you're doing with your movie.
Do we Kevin, do you have something else in mind, or is it between those two? Like,
Did
in my head, it was between those two only because there's some other movies in that area that I would just kind of like be fine with not getting drafted at all. Yeah. If I have to shout them out, then I will. But then I feel like it ruins what my current ranking is.
Sure.
I don't know.
Right.
If you want me to name them, like I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not like crazy about Moneyball, but that's another movie that I would not put any higher than the spot that we're at right now.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's fascinating.
I don't know.
So,
did you formally play Mary and Max? Like, have you put this forth, or are we still in the conversation?
I feel like we were in the spirit of collaboration, but in my head, the pick is Mary and Max only because of the strategy that Hal proposed, where Ethan drafts Mission Impossible 3 at number 9. So I'll say Mary and Max at number 10.
Right.
Des, you got to make a choice. I'm not vetoing this. I actually respect it. I think it'd be kind of cool. It makes me more interested in watching the film.
Don't do that.
It does. I'm being 100% genuine.
Well, maybe you'll want to watch it more when we talk about it again when it's played higher, and I get to talk about it even more in detail.
Bet. I knew this was gonna happen. Okay.
Hal, would you override this veto if I vetoed it?
If you're gonna veto it, then I would like Kevin to play Mission Impossible 3, and we'll let you take it. Then we'll assume you'll take it.
Give this to you. Yeah.
But what I don't want is for you to get real cute and let it drop to 4 and take it at 4.
Which I think is a possibility.
Could happen.
Also,
so what if we don't draft it? It falls to you at 8. You take it at 8. Would you agree to that?
No, because there's another movie I want to play at 8 that I don't think would be allowed any higher.
Okay.
All right. Play it,
as the reigning chairman of this. We need to make some decisions. This is far too collaborative.
We can leave it.
Okay. Then does that mean?
Oh, we're gonna leave it.
Yeah. So you're not using your veto. We're just
no.
Okay. Mary Max number 10.
Then. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
It's just okay. Great. Wow, Des, I can't figure you out. I love it. You're just an enigma to me.
I can't either.
It's fantastic. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Mary and Max have been played at 10. I've got number 9. Let's see. Could do Mission Impossible 3 here. I think a very fitting number 9. Obviously, I do kind of need to look out for the vetoes. Kevin's got a veto. Des, you've got a veto. I know you hate Mission Impossible 3, Des. So, got to be careful.
I don't know anything about it, so.
Okay.
Where's the rabbit's foot?
Is that a line?
There's a bomb inside your brain.
I'm going to kill your girlfriend in front of you.
That was a pretty good impression, actually.
That was really good. Obviously, yeah, my passion for his character in Mission Impossible 3 is no secret to listeners of this show or anybody that knows me. That being said, there is a movie that I think would make for a great number 9 spot that I don't feel like will be played any higher, but I actually don't know how people feel about it. So that could be like a point of conversation, but I don't know if that would be good. Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
Let's play it.
Let's do it. Let's just play it. I'm going to play the movie Before the Devil Knows You're Dead.
That should be higher.
Okay, so that's fair. This is 2007. I believe this is Sidney Lumet's last film that he made. He stars alongside Ethan Hawke. They play two brothers who essentially go to plan to rob their parents' jewelry store. Things go awry, and the whole family just gets really, really screwed up. And it is, to me, a pretty outstanding Philip Seymour Hoffman performance, especially emotionally. Dude, it's like you watch this and you're just like, yeah, one of the greatest to ever do it, kind of a situation. I'm going to play it here out of fear that it wouldn't have been played any higher. But Kevin, you want it higher. Do you want to veto this?
I would have played it at number 6 if it didn't get brought up.
Yeah.
I don't want to take any risks and use vetoes, so I'll just let it stay here unless somebody else has other ideas.
I would have played it at 3.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I think
so.
This is
maybe
an incredible
maybe
performance.
7, but I really like this performance.
It is like my personal number 3, probably, or number 4, somewhere around there.
He's a real piece of shit in this movie.
He is. He's a real fucking guy. Okay, let's make a concession.
Mm-hmm.
No?
No, you already played it.
No, I played it. I know I played it. I'm just telling you, I'll make a concession on threat of death that you can veto this, Kevin, and I will play Mission Impossible here at number 9. Then you can either have it at 6, at 3, we can have it like higher up the board, respectfully where it should go. Or we keep it here,
right, but
and
you say that
Mission Impossible 3 could go anywhere. Is that a risk you want to run?
It's like, how many vetoes do we have combined between everybody? Is it just me and Daz that have vetoes? Because Hal used one already, right?
I have one left as well.
Well, yeah, but you're the one who'd be playing Mission Impossible 3, so that doesn't really work in our favor.
I'll give that to you. I'll put Mission Impossible 3 at 9. This is the biggest concession I've ever offered.
Have you seen Before the Devil Knows You're Dead?
No, that was one of the ones I didn't get to see before.
Okay.
I wanted to. It looked really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely on Hal's side that this should be pretty high on the list. I don't know if I want to, like, use a
You don't want to take the risk? Could pay off big.
I'm just like, well, why actually... I don't know.
Do it. Use your veto, Kevin. You don't want this here at number 9? That's low. I know Hal said he wants it at 3.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's gonna get played higher.
Al, do you want me to use my veto? Or are you okay with it being on the
I'm
list?
okay with it. If Ethan's serious about playing it here, I'll allow it. But I'd rather him play Mission Impossible 3 here.
See?
5.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem.
Yeah,
is that I just like.
I would say veto it. Veto it.
I don't want. The thing is, like, I don't. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, no. Let's just leave the movie.
What's fine? What are you choosing?
Let's leave it at number 9. Before the Devil Knows You're Dead at number 9.
Okay.
All right.
I just want to know.
Fucking crazy.
Okay.
I would think that if you want to play it at 3 or 6, and this movie's currently sitting at, what is this, 9?
9.
You would have a little bit more respect for it.
Yeah, I feel like you guys don't actually want it that high,
you have
though.
like ulterior motives. You're trying to talk me into like wasting my veto.
No, I mean,
not at all.
Mary and Max has already been played. Like, I'm fine.
I want a good board. I want a good graphic.
Can I use my veto still?
Yeah, all of that. You're gonna veto this?
Just know, if
Kevin
you
has
veto
used his
this
veto,
and he doesn't put Mission Impossible 3,
No.
I can't do anything about it. I'm not going to veto it.
I gave him my word. I'm not a piece of shit like Philip Seymour Hoffman in a lot of movies he plays. Okay, I am I'm a man of my word.
Dead ass. I thought you were going to say a piece of shit like me.
No. Okay, so with that being said, Kevin has used his veto officially on Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. I think great call. Just didn't know where you guys stood, so I just had to play a little risk reward situation there. So we've got Mission Impossible 3 going here at number 9. Everybody said this is okay. Obviously, Des, you have a veto if you want to use it here. This is where, in my opinion, he plays the best villain in the Mission Impossible franchise. He plays Owen Davian. Opens up to one of the best cold openings of the franchise. We get 2 of him in the movie when Tom Cruise puts on a face mask and becomes Philip Seymour Hoffman, which I think is fantastic.
Whoa.
This is just great villain shit from PSH, in my opinion. And I love it. I just truly do.
And I just want it on the record, not the best villain in the Mission Impossible franchise. But
That's okay.
Ooh.
That's okay.
It's,
I still think he's great in the movie.
What's your villain of choice?
the fellow with
Sean
the arms.
Harris.
Yeah.
Sean Harris for sure.
Sean Harris for sure. Okay.
Who's that?
Lane.
Oh, you're talking about Henry
Nathan.
Cavill.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool
He's not
shit.
really a villain though. That's the thing.
Oh,
Yeah, he is.
He's a villain.
But he's not
What
a
do you mean
villain
he's-
like
what do you mean
Philip
he's
Seymour
not really a
Hoffman.
villain?
Sure. He's not a diabolical master.
He's not a diabolical villain.
Yeah,
exactly.
but he's an antagonist.
Yeah. Difference.
Okay.
I gotta
Right,
watch
Dad.
these movies.
Okay, we've
Yeah,
played
you
Mission
gotta watch
Impossible
some of
3.
them. Not Mission Impossible 3, but you should at least
Please,
watch some of
the
ones.
slander on MI3. We have to put this has to be stopped. We need to go to
Yeah.
legislation
Well-
for this. Not allowed.
Legislation is crazy.
Anybody have any MI3 things before we move on? Nope, just me. Okay, cool. Good.
I'm good.
Great. Happy to have it on the board. I guess I was literally gonna play it at 5. So appreciate you guys. Saw right fucking through me. Des, you have 8.
Number 8 is gonna be Twister.
I'm fine with that. That's fine. I saw this. I saw this coming, which is this is one of those things where I was like, I know like something's gonna happen, and I shouldn't have used that veto, but I don't know. I think he's fun in the movie, so no problems.
Exactly. In Twister, he plays Dusty, and Dusty is part of the good guy crew. He's part of the storm chasers that are, chasing these storms in a rinky-dink, pickup truck and, the Dorothy prototype, and trying to figure out, the real science behind all of these tornadoes to help save these towns that keep getting destroyed by them. His character is so enigmatic, and he is just a force to be reckoned with, even though he is like maybe like 8th build. Like there's no way he's like even higher than that. The cast is honestly so stacked, it's insane. But he holds his own. And Ethan, you said earlier there's like an aura about him. I think he got Riz. I think he has Riz in this movie. Do you guys think he has Riz? You guys think Mr. Hoffman has the Riz?
It's so interesting to me because the Riz, the aura, the energy he has in this movie is so cool. And then you comp it to something like The Talented Mr. Ripley, in which he has the same thing, just on the total opposite end of the spectrum, in my opinion, where it's like very classy, very well dressed, very like professional. He is just so like, he's great. The Suck Zone, iconic, great stuff.
I don't know. He's the kind of guy that like he'll laugh you out of your panties. Like that's the kind of guy like Philip Seymour Hoffman is. He's kind of like James Spader in a way, where it's like you don't really expect it, but it's there, and like you get it like when you see it. And if you don't get it, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, you just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Twister at 8.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with
I know
this.
you're a big Twister guy too. So
I'm a huge Twister guy. Love Twister. I think it's like
not more than me, but
okay, fair. Thanks for clarifying. Appreciate that.
Welcome.
Hal, where you're good with Twister here at 8?
That's a little higher than I would have it, but I'm not.
Okay.
If only you had a veto,
Nothing we can do about it now.
So this is interesting that you bring that up. And I bring up the Suck Zone because I do feel like we are entering the Suck Zone a little bit with this collaborative draft. So one of the things that tends to happen is we do this like 11 through 8, and then all of a sudden we're like out of spots. You know what I mean? Where it's like we have some guarantees that we still need to play, or seemingly guarantees that we still need to play. Twister is in here, and it feels like we're getting out of the zone, which we apparently all collaboratively agreed would be fun to be in the zone of like, let's put a fun cameo in there. That time has maybe gone. Like, where's Along Came Polly? You know what I mean? But I don't know. Anything could happen.
The movie just has to be better, I think.
I think that is completely fair. It's too bad because unless
somebody wants to play it. To me, that is like kind of the pinnacle of what I was saying before about like great performer in a bad movie, where it's like that movie is maybe one of the most unwatchable movies I've ever seen, and it works the whole time because Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it.
Along Came Polly or Twister?
Along Came Polly.
Along Came
no,
Polly.
not Twister. Twister's
Right,
good.
okay.
Twister, good movie, but
Twister,
Along
good
Came
movie.
Polly, very bad.
Make
movie.
that clear.
Yeah. This is, of course,
Twister is not one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I like that movie a lot.
This is the 1996 version of Twister and not the 1989 version of Twister, which I improperly referenced at one point on this podcast.
I'll never forget it either.
Hans Zimmer, the composer of the 1989 Twister. I tried to dupe everybody and draft that in the Hans Zimmer draft, and it worked until somebody caught me, and then I was foiled. Hal, you have number 7.
Yes, I do.
I don't like where we're headed, by the way. I'm pretty uneasy. I just want to
I'm nervous because to me there's like a clear like 6 performances that like I really need to see in this top 7. But that's like threading a needle, and obviously we're all on different pages. And so now I'm forced to choose between what I'm like I know it needs to be on here, so I might as well take it here.
Okay.
Or do I take the thing that feels more appropriate for this spot in the draft? But risk it not being on here at all. That's a lot of talk. But I'm gonna do what I think is I think it's a great performance. Anyways, I'll just say the movie Magnolia, the 1999 film directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. I really like this Philip Seymour Hoffman performance here because he is playing such a like gentle and caring, and sort of it's like this a little bit more delicate performance from him, where he isn't quite the like sad loser guy, but he also isn't like this explosive crass guy. He's sort of like a role that he doesn't play a whole lot, that doesn't get maybe as much airtime when you're thinking about his greatest performances. But I think it's really lovely performance, and so I want to see it on here. I would have it a little bit higher, but I think just to play it safe, Magnolia at 7.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's an interesting spot.
That is interesting.
Do you think it belongs higher, or were you like, this is the one PTA you don't think should be up here?
My perspective is that this is the one that shouldn't be here. However, it's not in my top 13. Yeah. It's just that so many movies have already like been played now that it complicates things, because I was looking at my list. We have, including your pick right now, 7 spots left. And I have like exactly, I think 7 movies left, and then Magnolia is the 8th. So one of those movies has to not make the list if we're playing Magnolia here, which hurts, but I'm fine with it.
I actually like Magnolia here a lot, and I think this is a great pick because of exactly what you said, Hal. Like, I think he is more obviously very much more famously known for his role in Boogie Nights or The Master. And of course, his relationship to PTA, and that relationship that PTA has now carried on with Cooper Hoffman, obviously in Licorice Pizza, I think is like really important, and like the bond that these actors and filmmakers have. And I think his performance in this is much more understated, and it's kind of a role that he doesn't really get to do a lot, which like a lot of things just like pass through him. He is just like, he is the conduit for Tom Cruise's character to the dad, to Julianne Moore. Like all of these things work in and around him. But he also gets the chance to like literally be in the background, feeling all of the emotion while Tom Cruise is completely uttering tears in the foreground. And he's like really good at it. I think his costume's great here. He's obviously like the live-in nurse, and he just like, he just like looks kind of innocent, and like he's just a normal guy that just got kind of like roped in some bad shit. And I like this here.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm proud.
I'm team keeping this here at number 7.
See, the thing is, I thought this was going to be higher, to be honest with you.
Whoa.
Oh,
okay.
I was prepared to see this higher, and I would have been fine with it. I was looking at my prep for this podcast and I was like, oh, I'll watch the movie. I'll watch Magnolia. 3 hours. PTA, you gotta go to hell for that one. So I didn't watch it, but it's so highly regarded that I was just like, I'm sure the performance is fantastic. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that you bunch love the movie. So I wasn't gonna fight it. That was I accepted that. So I'm surprised you didn't play it higher.
Yeah.
We all spent 3 hours.
A very well spent 3 hours.
It's funny. Paul Thomas Anderson, has even said, I think on Mark Maron several years ago, he's like, yeah, that one was too long. Like I was young and ambitious. Like that we could have cut 20 minutes from that one.
That was like his blank check movie after Boogie Nights, though. He was just like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a crazy big thing. And he ended up doing it. I've stated this argument several times. I think it was like one of the pinnacle moving into the 21st century movies of like what it encapsulates in 1999. Okay. So Magnolia at 7. Now, Kevin, you have the number 6 pick. I just want to do a quick like pulse check here. We have about 45 minutes left to record because I have a hard out. So we're under a little bit of a time constraint. We have, in theory, The Master, Boogie Nights, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead was one that we agreed on. That is 3 out of the 6. I want to raise a personal question to this group because I feel like if we don't address this, we're maybe not doing the important work here. So nominated for 4 Academy Awards, he wins for Capote. Movie is solely centered around him. Does Capote need to be on the board?
Yeah, you're getting ahead of me. I was about to draft it. So
okay, I apologize. Great minds think alike.
You're gonna draft this right now?
I was planning on it. Well, okay.
I think it's a good draft. This is why I brought it up.
No. Here's what I'll say. Since Hal said that he wants Before the Devil Knows You're Dead in the top 3.
It doesn't have to be. I'm okay with it.
No, but I agree with it. Okay. I agree with it. And so I would let you draft it at number 3 because there's 2 movies that I really want on the list. And one of those 2 movies to me is Capote. But I'd even play it at number 2. I was just worried that everybody else thought less of it. So I wasn't planning on doing that. If everybody thinks it should be that high, I'll play it at number 2. And if that's the case, I'll play something else.
So Des is saying, let it go. It'll show up. That's what you're saying.
Okay. Yeah. Or even if Des wants to draft it, that's fine. Like if everybody's in agreement that it should be higher, then I won't even touch it. I just was worried that people like didn't care that much about that movie.
No, I think I watched Capote for the first time today, and I am in full alignment with you guys. I think.
Okay, cool. So I'm not even going to mention it. Let's genuinely talk about it.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's save the conversation. Well done. Yeah. Okay, what is the number 6 then here?
This is like my personal pick. Like everybody gets their one little like movie that has to be on here. This is gonna be mine, I guess. Since I don't think it would slide at number 2. Maybe it would. I'm gonna go with Happiness, the Todd Solondz movie.
Okay.
This so you would say Patch Adams.
Yeah, when's the Patch Adams play?
In my head, I was doing the math and I was like, oh, I can play Happiness at number 2 and probably get away with it, unless because Des is the only one with a veto, and I don't know if you were gonna use
Ethan
that.
has one.
I do have a single veto.
Okay, yeah, so maybe the math doesn't check out. In my head, I was like, I could play this at number 2, but I also told myself, I was like, let me just be like nice and play it here, and everybody will kind of like respect it a little bit more instead of trying to force it to the top of the list. This is my favorite movie that Philip Seymour Hoffman is in. It's not my favorite performance of his, but it's my favorite movie that he's in. And if I were going to describe this to people, don't exactly know how I would. Kind of similar to Magnolia, I guess, structurally, in that it just follows like different people at different points, different perspectives. But all of those people are like the worst people alive. Not all of them, but they're all people who are kind of in the margins of society, maybe not like physically, but just like in who they are, like socially they exist in the margins. And Philip Seymour Hoffman is one of those people who very much is socially in the margins. And he's terrific at it. And I think I just think it's a very interesting performance because we talk about him playing a pathetic loser a lot, and he is a pathetic loser in this movie, but also like kind of some crazy heart behind it too. Like there's just like some moments in the movie where I'm like, wait, I kind of care about this awful man, you know, like I kind of really care about that. And that happens, I guess, with all of his pathetic loser performances, but maybe more here than elsewhere. Also, weirdly New Jersey movie as a New Jerseyan. They just like they'll randomly like cut to the highway and it's just like, welcome to New Jersey. And I'm like, man, why do you guys, because anybody who hasn't seen the movie, when you watch the movie and you see the types of characters that the movie is about, it's weird to be like, this is a New Jersey movie, but they make a point that all of this is happening in New Jersey. Anyway, if everybody's okay with it, I'm playing Happiness at number 6.
Okay. This is the one movie I wanted to watch it last night. I blind bought it on the last Criterion sale just based on what I have heard from everybody and describing this movie. And it sounds right up my alley. Unfortunately, it's just like the one movie I didn't get to. So I have no problems. I probably would have advocated to play this movie if I had seen it. So sounds great to me. We're good.
Cool.
Okay. Des, Hal, you guys are good.
I haven't seen it in probably 12, 15 years, but I remember liking it. Remember the thing, it was a tough hang. But
it's
a good performance.
It's not like super pleasant to sit through. But
Okay. So Happiness at number 6. All right. Again, we've got 5 spots left. Where are we at? No, go ahead.
I think there's like, to me, there's like a clear, this has to be the next 5. Not necessarily in a certain order, but like to me, there's like a clear 5.
I'm in agreement that in any order, there's 5 movies that I want here, and I'm curious if that's gonna.
Well, I'm kind of like making the list as we go.
Are you checking it twice?
I don't do that. That's reserved for the big guy.
Okay.
I have 4. Is one of those films The Talented Mr. Ripley? Hal?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
So that would be 5.
Oh.
Okay. Or not. So
do y'all fuck with Doubt?
This is my question.
No.
Yes.
That's it's between that and Ripley, but I've got Doubt over Ripley if we're doing.
I also hot take. I think Talented Mr. Ripley better movie. Doubt better PSH performance.
I agree.
Mm.
And I think with the mission statement here, Doubt like a big movie when it comes to like what we're doing. It's just like some of the greatest actors giving monologues about like religious problems and moral and ethical dilemmas. And I like that. And so I think I'm going to go with Doubt actually here. I think I'm going to toss that out at number 5. I think
it's where it belongs. I think that makes sense to me.
Nominated for 5 Oscars. Of course, stars Meryl Streep, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Amy Adams. Takes place in 1964 in the Bronx. 2 Catholic school nuns question the new priest and his relationship with an African-American student. Of course, we do get a great supporting performance from Viola Davis in this movie as well, who was nominated for Best Actress in a Supporting Role, like totally rightfully so. Got 4 acting nominations and 1 adapted screenplay nomination. I think this is like a good movie. I haven't seen it in maybe like 4 or 5 years, but I remember being like, oh, this is one of the movies you watch like when you want to see actors acting. And I sometimes that's what I want, capital A acting. And this is it.
I agree.
Yeah, it's definitely this like very stage play-esque, like you're just sort of, it's kind of a conventional movie, but like it's just like 5 Hall of Fame actors just like doing their thing, which is a delight.
Pretty great. Philip Seymour Hoffman, the emotional range is great because like he's in this setting of a Catholic school, so he has to stay somewhat restrained, but he also is going toe to toe with Meryl Streep, basically being like, you're a terrible human being. How the fuck could you do this? And he has to defend himself. And it's really interesting. And we're taking this over The Talented Mr. Ripley. Kevin, if you're okay. I mean, you have to be okay. I don't think
I don't have a choice. Yeah. I think my biggest concern now is just that like Doubt wasn't anywhere near my list because I just don't. It's not that he's bad in the movie. I just don't care about the movie, and I'm not really like, as much as I said I was performance forward. I was like, if I don't like the movie to like that degree, then I'm not really going to vouch for it. And
Sure.
Doubt's kind of in the I don't think this is a good movie category for me. So I don't know. My concern is that I think now the Talented Mr. Ripley doesn't deserve a spot, and I'm scared that it is about to get drafted, and then one of the other movies is gonna not make the list. So that's my problem really with Doubt being drafted. But
I consider Talented Mr. Ripley at 7 sort of for this reason, but
Talented Mr. Ripley is like literally my number 7. But now there's 4 movies.
But we're talking about it. So. People will see it if they haven't already. So it's
it was Talented Mr. Ripley was in my 13. Let it be known. But it just we have kind of like we have surpassed the zone for things like Talented Mr. Ripley, Moneyball, things like that are like, unfortunately, we're just at the top 4.
I don't think we have though.
Right.
Well, Des, I thought Des.
Wow.
This is why I'm saying this to you guys, because I think that drafting Doubt there was the wrong move, but.
Don't put this on me, Kevin. I see the way you look at me.
Yeah,
now.
You're the one who took Happiness.
Let's all relax.
That was a great choice.
You think Doubt is a better performance than Happiness?
I haven't seen Happiness. I can't speak.
I think it's more. I think if I'm picking 13 Philip Seymour Hoffman performances to show an alien, I think yes, I'd put Doubt in there over Happiness.
Yeah. I can't argue with you. But
I want to see how these four. I want to see how these 4 play. I have a veto. Des, you've got a veto. Hal, you have a veto override.
I sure do.
A little bit of back pocket power there. We all have one more BPP. Pick. Yeah. Des, you have the number 4. So we've got Capote. We just kind of talked about it. We were like, let's bump.
Mm-hmm.
Before the Devil Knows You're Dead.
Yep.
The Master and Boogie Nights.
Yep.
Questionably. And a couple of other, and Moneyball, like that's 5. We only have 4 spots.
I think the first 4 you named to me is chalk.
Des, pick a movie.
Right.
You're not gonna pick any of those, are you? You're gonna fucking zag.
I'm gonna do Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1.
What the what? At 4? No. It's not happening. I'll veto that. I have a veto. Nice.
Awesome.
We're not putting a fucking
Don't veto
Hunger
it. She's
Games.
gonna just. It's gonna be Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2.
No, if she then
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
Okay. No. Well, I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. Okay. Well, I'm gonna veto this.
Okay.
It's not gonna happen. It was a great stretch when you weren't fucking with us, and now we're back.
Right? I know. You guys were really blood pressure down. Great.
I was lulled into a sense of safety. It's not even. What are you even thinking about right now? What are you thinking about? There's nothing to think about.
What were the choices that you tried to give me just before?
I'm not giving you anything.
Which you told us to not draft, so you could draft it.
You said you would.
That's not what I said.
That's what
you said. Higher. You made this. You made that. You said bump it up.
We all said that.
The options were The Master, Capote, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, Boogie Nights, and The Talented Mr. Ripley.
And Moneyball.
But
no Moneyball erasure, Kevin. I see this.
Sorry. I'd be fine with Moneyball, I guess.
Do y'all fuck with Boogie Nights like that?
Yes.
Yeah, big time. We're all middle-aged men. Des.
Are you thinking about Charlie Wilson's War?
Middle-aged?
Are you a big Chuck Wilson's War person?
Oh.
No, I'm thinking maybe a Logan Polly. But the thing is, I don't want Boogie Nights should just
gotta have some integrity.
Be up here at all.
Can I pose a very real thing to you, Des?
What's that?
I'm starting to sway. I have a Boogie Nights tattoo. I have a tattoo of Roller Girl. This is one of my movies. Can we just should we maybe just choose The Master instead of Boogie Nights? I don't know. I'm just feeling a little claustrophobic. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I would have a different proposition. My proposition would be to draft Talented Mr. Ripley and leave Boogie Nights off the list instead of Along Came Polly.
Oh, I wasn't serious about Along Came Polly.
Okay. I thought you were.
The mind games you're playing.
What is real?
He's really good. He's really good in the movie. The movie sucks, but he's really good in the movie. I just
don't know what Des is thinking at any time.
No, exactly.
I don't either.
The thing is, we're in the top 4. We have to get serious. Along Came Polly's not touching the grass.
Yeah, right.
All right, so what are you thinking?
I don't want Boogie Nights any higher than this possible placement.
Okay.
And that's
Even
fine.
if I don't play this right now, is this a contender for number 1?
It is between, for me, so Capote was unanimous. We were all kind of like put it at number 2. And so if that fell then to me to pick between Boogie Nights and something else for number 1, I need the Master on here. So if the Master doesn't get played in the next 2 spots, that's where I see it going. But if it does get played, Boogie Nights would probably be my fallback.
Right.
So double-edged sword. What do you want? You want Boogie Nights here? Do you want it at 1?
I don't want it anywhere. I don't want it anywhere on this list.
Then just play something else.
How
I think
you
that's
fuck
wrong.
You fuck with Boogie Nights?
I
know you do. Never mind. Look at you. You love that movie.
I do.
You know
it's not that I love the movie. It's that it's
his performance.
It's the performance means a lot to me.
No, Scotty J. I love you. Fucking love you. Such a fucking idiot.
Do what you feel.
Let's go with Moneyball.
Okay.
All right, go off. Speak on it, Des.
Baseball movie. It's one of like the only sports movies that I'll actually watch, to be quite honest with you. I'm not big on sports movies. But I do think it has a stat cast. I do think it actually does keep my attention, and I do think that he has one of the better performances in it, to be quite honest with you. I haven't seen that in a hot minute, but he does play a character named Art. I do remember that. And I do remember loving his character. So I'm gonna keep that there because I don't want Boogie Nights up here.
Okay. So you're just playing Moneyball out of spite as a defensive mechanism here.
But the thing is, I also do really enjoy Moneyball. So I'm also kind of like okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, how can you not be romantic about baseball? Pretty simple. I think it's a great great counter to Brad Pitt in that movie, who is doing something completely different. And they offer a great dynamic between what they want for the A's, obviously, and what they think managing a team is, and this like idea of kind of tossing the baton to a new era, seeing things differently, seeing the way things Billy Beane does versus how Art has always done it. And I think he's really good in that role. Like, he's just he's a rock, you're gonna have to bulldoze him over, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can I real quick?
Please
Share some thoughts. I love this film. This is a comfort watch for me, and I think Philip Seymour Hoffman is very good in it. Like, it's a weird role for him, and where like he's clearly this sort of irritable, grumpy guy, but he's not explosive. He's just kind of like a little bit of a bulldog type of guy. But when we're getting this high in the rankings,
he's just what I warned you guys about.
He's just not asked to do a lot in this role. And I feel like, unlike some of these other movies we're talking about, if you were to swap Philip Seymour Hoffman out with another actor, I don't know that the movie still works. And you can't really say that about a lot of these other movies. And so that's why I'm like, Moneyball, love the movie, love it more than a lot of movies on this list, but it's just so hard for me to be a top 5 Philip Seymour Hoffman draft movie. But
wait,
it is what it is.
What place was this? Was this 4 or 5?
This is 4.
It's 4.
Okay, so we have Moneyball at number 4.
Can I veto my choice?
You may use your veto on your own pick. It's been done before. I have done it several times. Did Hal talk you down? Hal talked you out?
I miscounted. I thought we had 5.
Des, it's on the dock. It's on the dock. No, I'm putting in the work.
I don't watch that as we're doing this.
Okay. You don't respect my hard work.
No, I do. Can I undo?
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to use your veto. So you're going to use your veto on your own pick? You can't undo. It's been written in stone. We've shipped it off.
How that works?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You officially played it, and we all talked about it. So that's...
Guess it's up to you guys to pick the top 3 and be right about it.
Sorry. Rules are rules. Okay, so Moneyball's at number 4.
If we want a sidebar, I think we have to leave Boogie Nights off the list.
Well, let's
right. I mean, unless you want to leave Before the Devil Knows You're Dead off the list, but
that's really hard as well.
No,
one of them has to get knocked off the list.
Yeah, that has to make the list.
I think top 3.
Game it out, Hal.
And also, here's the thing: is like Des still has a veto. So if we tried playing Boogie Nights here at number 3, then we would just have to play Before the Devil Knows You're Dead.
That's
anyway.
true. Why did you have to bring that up? Your mind.
I mean, Des is thinking.
I know that's why Des doesn't want to play the veto. 100%.
My hope. Okay, so I'm gonna play Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. Here, number 3.
Okay.
It is as we talked about earlier, Sidney Lumet's last film. He's a great American director. A lot of crime pictures. This is a crime movie, kind of a two-hander with Philip Seymour Hoffman and Ethan Hawke as brothers who perform a small heist and things go awry. It's a dark movie. It's kind of a tough one to watch just because it's kind of gross and dark and everyone kind of sucks in it. And it's quite nihilistic, but Philip Seymour Hoffman, just great work, and it's sort of what you hope to see in a performance out of him, which is just like he can be mean, he can be magnetic, and you're rooting for him, but you're also rooting against him at the same time.
Yeah, I think he's married to Marissa Tomei in this movie, and she essentially just like leaves him because he is crumbling like before her very eyes, and it is it's pretty fucking sad to watch this movie. It's a tough hang for sure. Man. Okay, so we've got Before the Devil Knows You're Dead at 3.
It's a pretty sick title, not gonna lie.
That title is real hard.
Honestly,
awesome.
you guys are keep thinking, I'm like, damn, like that's really sick. It's a really good title.
Yeah, it is. Really hard. It is like one of the most nihilistic movies I've seen. It is a real like everybody in this movie suffers. Like nobody comes out a winner. Really, it's a pretty depressing watch. And I tend to like movies like that. So I really like it.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. So we've got that here at number 3, which I think is incredible. This is kind of the result I wanted for this movie. And I think, part and parcel with talking about Philip Seymour Hoffman in this movie is the fact that it is a two-hander with Ethan Hawke. A little bit of a tease for our next week's episode. Might be talking about Ethan Hawke not being nominated for an Academy Award he should have won at some point in the last 10 years. Who's to say?
Ooh, sounds like First Reformed.
Could be a movie that Des has told me she watched and then texted me and said, I lied, watch Mary and Max instead. So I have complicated feelings about this whole situation. Kevin, you got 2 and I got 1.
Yeah.
What do you got?
There's something I kind of want to like think about here. There's something I have to confirm. Des, when you played The Master however long ago.
Yeah.
You really do want that at the top of the list, right?
Why would I play it at 13 if I want at the top of the list?
Des hates PTA. I think you should know.
I know, but so that's like the thing is like what if I never mind. I feel like I have to play it here then, no?
Play it out.
Well, because the option is I play Capote, which we all discussed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then you play the Master at number 1 and it gets vetoed.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. You should play the Master.
Play the Master here. Play the Master here.
I'm stupid. It doesn't even matter.
I have no
right.
I have no right.
Oh, okay, great. We're safe.
Okay.
Stay together, boys.
I'll pick Capote at number 2 then.
All right, bet. You want to talk on Capote for a second?
Yeah, this is a movie about Truman Capote, true story about the legendary writer, and specifically not a movie about his whole life, but focused on his writing of the book In Cold Blood. and follows kind of his journey of discovering the crime that took place and then being sent to report on that crime and turning that report into, I guess, what is now regarded as one of the great American novels, and especially one of the great true crime novels.
Mm-hmm.
That's Capote. And Philip Seymour Hoffman won an Oscar for it, as we mentioned earlier, and is really, really, really good in the movie.
Can you do the Capote voice? Any voices for anyone?
Can someone do it, please?
I would think that Hal would be the one to do it since he did such a good Philip Seymour Hoffman impression earlier. But that one's a little bit harder to pull off.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a sore throat the other day. I don't know if I quite can get the register needed.
I'm very my like worst ability is impressions. Like it is like of all the skills in the world, like the one that I am farthest from having is the ability to do an impression of anybody. Like I can't do that.
I think it's interesting that this is the first Academy Award that he is nominated for and he wins in a lead performance. He is only nominated 3 other times over the course of 7 years. Charlie Wilson's War, Doubt, and The Master, all in supporting roles. I want to tie that back to what we talked about earlier, how he is kind of the ultimate supporting actor, and he has only led a small handful of movies. I think this was one of the times, like, I know it's tough because this is Brokeback Mountain year and all of the things that happen with that, but like, it's kind of one of the times that they got it right, because if he doesn't win here and he doesn't win for anything else, he never wins an Academy Award. And that is not acceptable, obviously. So I think it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm fresh off Capote. It's another Bennett Miller movie, which I think is interesting. Bennett Miller also directed Moneyball, that we just played at number 4. A real full transformation movie, a real you deserve this Academy Award movie. Lost a lot of weight for this role. Obviously is doing his voice in a completely different register, completely different bodily functions than he ever does in really any other movie. And it only works because of him. Ultimately, it is his film.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad we put it here.
I think that's an incredible movie. I think the scene where he's in the cell at like towards like the end, getting the confession.
Really good.
It's so good.
Really, really good. Okay. We've arrived at number 1 on the Philip Seymour Hoffman collaborative draft here. What do we think? Hal, I know you mentioned Patch Adams, really near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, I was thinking either Patch Adams or...
Should we go state and Maine? Like, what are we going to go with here?
The Ides of March.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there are some good movies that I think belong on a list that we didn't mention, but you know,
we'll talk about them.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about them. Okay, so I think it's no surprise. I mean, it is between Boogie Nights and The Master, and I think they're 2 very different performances, obviously, but I think it would be a little irresponsible of us not to play The Master. This is 2012's Paul Thomas Anderson's 2012 movie where he plays Lancaster Dodd, basically a super charismatic leader of this new religion that he forms. It is obviously, with anybody who has seen this movie or knows anything about this movie, like a soft tie, quote unquote, to Scientology and all of the things that represents. He is doing the ultimate acting against Joaquin Phoenix, one of the great on-screen, I would argue, like, toxic romances that we have like kind of ever seen. And it is pretty incredible stuff. I know, Des, you just talked about the scene in Capote where he's in the cell getting the confession. Like he does, when he does the test with Joaquin Phoenix here, we're like half an hour into the movie and we basically just get like an 8 or 9 minute uncut sequence with them performing a test against each other. And it is like lights out stuff. For me, the ending of this movie when he does sing Slow Boat to China is pretty profound and pretty moving. And how kind of what you said earlier, your kind of argument against playing Moneyball at 4 is like you can kind of replace him. Completely irreplaceable in this movie. Only Philip Seymour Hoffman can do what he does in this film.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Agreed. I
good
don't
with
think
that?
it was ever in doubt. I would hope that this is just always going to be the number one pick.
My only, I'm fine. I'm good with it at 1.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, and maybe Des, you're in agreement. I can't really. I'm only assuming some vibes from you toward Paul Thomas Anderson. So this is one of my least favorite Paul Thomas Anderson films. A lot of people love it. I'm not a big fan of this movie, but I do think this is a great performance and a magnetic performance, and deserves to be ranked highly among his work. But I don't love the movie.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Punch Drunk Love is my least favorite PTA, and that's the movie you played at 11. Fascinating.
I think that movie's better than The Master.
Wow. Okay.
And I'd say there's a couple movies that are better than The Master.
That's okay. Maybe we'll re-PTA after he wins.
I think I have The Master
number
at
of
8
Academy Awards
out of his 10 films.
Holy cow!
Yeah, The Master's at 5 for me. If we were like really, it might be 6 or 7. I don't know.
Wherever
in that range.
Wherever The Master falls on your individual PTA rankings, it falls number 1 here on the Philip Seymour Hoffman collaborative draft. An exercise that we have completed and we have done. Sans collaboration, maybe? I don't know. Let's go through our list and let's do some quick honorable mentions. Obviously, he has a whole body of work. We're not going to mention everything. Let's just maybe toss out the things that were either on your short list that didn't get on, or maybe you just want to give a shout. At number 13, we had The Hunger Games: Catching Fire. At number 12, Synecdoche, New York. At number 11, Punch Drunk Love. Number 10, Mary and Max. Number 9, Mission Impossible 3. Number 8, Twister. Number 7, Magnolia. Number 6, Happiness. Number 5, Doubt. Number 4, Moneyball. Number 3, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. Number 2, Capote. And number 1, The Master. I like a lot of this list. And I think for all of the stress that I felt during this exercise, it turned out better than I had anticipated. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you for joining me on this really bumpy road. Any honorable mentions that we want to throw out for PSH?
The rest of the Hunger Games movies.
Okay, cool.
I'm very surprised. I mean, we kind of talked a lot about Boogie Nights eventually not getting a spot, and same with The Talented Mr. Ripley. I'm very surprised that Almost Famous was never mentioned.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
I really just kind of expected that to be on here somewhere for somebody.
Yeah, I think Almost Famous, he plays Lester Bangs, and I think is a really great performance. I'm also a little surprised we didn't maybe occupy the 13 through 10 with The Big Lebowski. I think a lot of people have an attachment with that character and that performance that he does, especially in regards to the movie as a whole. And we just didn't talk about that at all.
That's one of those real shows up for 5 minutes or something performances. I just don't love that movie as much as everybody else does. So
yeah.
A couple that I think he does a good job in, but we didn't mention yet, A Most Wanted Man, which was his final performance in its entirety. Because I know he did a Hunger Games, but he didn't quite finish filming that film when he passed. But so I think A Most Wanted Man was his final complete performance, and it's a good one. Savages is a movie he did with Laura Linney. He's quite good in. I would recommend that movie. And then we didn't mention 25th Hour, which a good movie,
which
but maybe
I have watched an hour of.
And
it's a pretty good hour.
It's a good movie, but maybe it's sort of harder to pick out his performance there compared to some of the others we mentioned.
Yeah. I'll let everybody know the reason that Kevin has only seen an hour of that movie is because Des was playing mind games in our group chat and was like, we should record an hour earlier than we all agreed to. And I let it slide.
Watching the movie.
A real Michael Scott move.
Podcast.
Yeah. Real dangerous territory. Okay. I watched A Most Wanted Man last night. And while I think the movie is good, not great, I think his performance is, again, pretty special in that movie. Plays Gunther Bachmann, who is basically an undercover spy with a very heavy accent, and and he smokes in every scene. I think it's pretty sick.
It's almost weird watching him do accent work because obviously he changes his voice quite a bit for Capote, but I feel like the rest of his performances is just his voice, and so it's odd watching him do an accent.
Yeah, super interesting. We didn't talk about Jack Goes Boating, his only directorial venture, I believe. A movie that I own that I have not seen. Other than that, I feel pretty good. The only PTA movie we didn't mention at all was Heart 8, which never was really in contention, but worth mentioning.
I almost mentioned it at the top at pick
Okay.
11, just because he's in like one scene, but it's
really
such a unbelievable like feature film debut where you're just like, where he's literally like, you don't even recognize his face at this point in his career. Like you don't know, and he just shows up and you're like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
But you know, only so much time.
Yeah. Well, we only had 13 spots and we have done it. Thank you, Hal, Des, Kevin, for joining the draft. I appreciate you guys and all of your wonderful truth telling and sabotages that you put out into the universe. Hal, if people want to find more of you, where can they find you at?
I'm on TikTok at the Halgorithm, and I'm now on Instagram at _Halgorithm.
Yeah, absolutely. Give Hal a follow. Des, if people want to find more of you, where can they find you at?
They can find me on Letterboxd, Instagram, and Twitter at Movies with Des. It's Des with an S. And my podcast called What's On Tonight, where I talk about movies based on genres, themes, and vibes.
Yeah, good stuff. Kevin, if people want to find more of you, where can they find you at?
I have a podcast called Looks Like a Movie, and otherwise, I believe I'm K Meeks on Letterboxd and K Meeks Film everywhere else.
Yeah, give everybody a follow, check out their content. As always, a big thank you to Ben and Sophie for creating this podcast with me and very rarely ever co-hosting. It really means the world, and they're my best friends in the whole entire planet. Next week, we are diving back into award season. We did it back in November. We're going to dive into it in February before we dive into it a couple more times in March. And we're actually going to talk about the award season that really never happened. Per a listener suggestion, this is our very first ever listener suggested episode. We're going to be doing the biggest Oscar snubs of the decade draft with me and Ben and Tyler Whitmore. And it is surely going to be something very fascinating and very interesting, and I think will be a really great conversation around the award season. Be sure to listen and subscribe to the Movie Draft Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. We're also now on YouTube with video. Go subscribe to us over there. I would really appreciate it. We make some great faces when we draft, and I think it's a pivotal part of the experience. New episodes will be released weekly on Tuesdays. We'll see you then.